If you notice something different at the bottom, you are correct. That does say CPU chosen. That is because Brawlhalla just added 2 new bot difficulties. They added extreme mode, if you really want to go crazy, and they added the chosen one. I've been hearing stories of this chosen bot destroying players. They use a lot of unarmed, they do a lot of weapon tosses, they do a lot of crazy wacky things. But let's see if they really match up to their name, shall we? So, what's interesting is that the bot just SD'd. Cool. Is that unarmed has been a point of contention among top player consensus, or top player, what's the word? I don't even know. Maybe it is consensus. For the longest time, that unarmed is way too strong. It has too much priority for what it is, too fast for what it is, and it clashes with weapons, which it should not do. And I think these bots will probably be an example. Oh, okay. Alright, they're going nuts. They're going crazy. Goodbye. So long. I think these bots will be an example of how unarmed is strong. They do a lot of wake-up attacks, they do a lot of instant attacks after whiffing, and unarmed just has the tools, which is very interesting because it's kind of designed. I don't know why I just couldn't speak there for a second. Also, by the way, I'm a man of the people, okay? I brought back the keyboard. We're just gonna test. We're just gonna see. We're just gonna see, okay? I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, it'll kind of be a little bit of an example of why unarmed is strong, I think. Unarmed is supposed to be this spot where you're at a disadvantage, where the opponent can get a lead with their superior range, superior priority, yada yada yada, but there's a lot of situations where unarmed is actually like a better weapon than a weapon. So I think that is something that could use a change. That cannon just dropped, interestingly enough. They GC wake up there. I'm curious to know how the AI deals with GC wake ups and stuff like that. I also just did that. But yeah, unarmed is a weapon that, I mean, I say weapon because I guess it kind of is a weapon. It's so strong. Like, I think one of the solutions that a lot of people have been proposing is that unarmed should never clash with a weapon, which I think is a very, 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 very good idea, because that makes unarmed have less priority while also still feeling like the same thing. And, oh, are they just gonna, okay, no, they're gonna pick up a weapon themselves. Yeah, I think that'd be very good, especially off stage. You notice situations where you just unarmed dare and it beats out a recovery, and you just know it's gonna clash, so you never have to worry, and then you just get the easy peasy knockout off stage, which is something that I really think shouldn't be the case, especially with how strong weapon tosses are. In a lot of situations, you just weapon toss off stage, and then you know you're gonna unarmed clash, and it's just a guaranteed knockout, which is something that I don't think should be as easy as it is. Oh, okay, I'm kind of being surprised by this Yumiko, I'm being honest. Not sometimes. When I'm fighting these bots, I just like turn off my brain because I'm like, I'm just fighting a bot and I'm used to just walking forward and not thinking about anything. But with these things, you actually do have to think a little bit. I mean, once you get a hang of what they're doing, it's more about adaptation to their patterns, more than actually like outplaying, because I don't think, I mean, it's bots. Unless they have like super Terminator AI, they're not going to adapt to what you're doing to counter them. And that's what adaptation is about. It's like you recognize what your opponent is doing. I think oftentimes people have expectations for what players will do. I hear things like, yeah, why can I beat plat players but I can't beat gold players? Well, it's probably because you have an idea of what the plat players are going to do. You know, something that you're used to, and the gold players do something else. And so like when you play against the gold players, rather than playing against an actual player, you're playing against your expectations of what a player would do. And so you get surprised and you get beaten, and how is that even possible? And I think it's a similar case with the bots, where they play very different. I mean, they are bots. They're not going to play like people. I don't think it's necessarily the best practice if you want to fight people to play against these bots, but I think it is practice to learn how to adapt to a certain play style, which is that they wake up attack a lot, and they hardly ever dodge. And when they dodge, they do it sometimes. Or they do it diagonal, not sometimes. I just said the same thing like 3 times. If there's anything that I think will struggle against these bots, it's probably weapons that unarmed actually has a good time against, which sounds weird, right? Like unarmed having a good time against certain weapons, but it actually does. I think unarmed into guns is very good. I think unarmed into gauntlets can be very good. Oh yeah, also, yeah, I guess we can just have a nice conversation while we explore the ingenuity of this CPU. Now, I joke, but it's actually very cool that these are being added to the game. I'm very happy about it. I think harder bots is something that... Oh, they're not dead. Okay, yeah, now they are. I think harder bots is something that has been not necessarily needed or asked for, but now that we have it, it's like, oh, I'm so glad we have these. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? This time this just looks like an easy bot. I guess I kind of found a loophole, which is that if they're programmed to just wake up dare after a soft sidelight, you just back up after it, and then you just have a field day with it. But you know, maybe we shouldn't cheese that hard. I'll do it once. I'll do it once per stock. But you know, if you really want the cheat code to beat these bots, there's probably a lot of situations like that where you just have a move that just sets them up perfectly, and they always respond the same way. I lighted the wrong way. But yeah, I feel like if there's a situation where you main a certain weapon, maybe like guns, I'll use that as an example that I think unarmed can do very well against, it might actually be pretty difficult to fight these bots, especially if you're not accustomed to the things they're doing. I stopped paying attention after that kill where I just sidelighted over and over again, and then I let myself get killed, which is, I guess, kind of what I was saying about getting distracted. If you want to know a little bit about the gameplay or the analysis of what I'm doing when I'm talking about adapting to these bots, I'll talk a little bit about it. You know, not a lot about it, maybe a little bit about it. It's that they wake up attack a lot, which means that after they get hit, they instantly attack. So you'll notice if I nair them, or if I recover them there, they just instantly nair. And if you're not ready for it, you'll get hit. You see they jump stare there. And the other thing they do is after whiffing, they attack a lot as well. And with a weapon like unarmed that has low recovery frames, that has those quick startup frames as well, that can actually be very difficult to deal with. And so one thing to do is you can chase dodge through them, get those invulnerability frames so that they don't catch you with their wake up attacks. And another thing you can do is you can hit them before their wake up attack comes out. But depending on the situation, depending on how big of the gap your string will be, that won't work in every situation. Another thing you can do is back up, outrange them. With unarmed, you can actually outrange, which is a good thing, especially if you're on a weapon like Lance. So like right there, I knew they were going to wake up dare, and so I just backed up a little bit outside of the range of the dare, and I was able to get, you know, some damage. So that's what I mean by adaptation. Like right there, wake up attack, I had a chase dodge, so I had those invulnerability frames, and I knew that my grab would hit them because that grab has a lot of priority, so I got away with it. Right there, I tried to do a GC downsig like that, but I didn't because I landed on the ground. I didn't think I landed on the ground. I probably should have held that, which is fine. Kind of just, I don't know, not really thinking right now. Just spamming SIGs, which is what I'm used to against a bot. But it appears that these bots actually space a little bit, or at least, I don't know, maybe they do space a little bit. I don't actually know about their programming or anything like that. But I clearly just stopped thinking about things as I was talking. So let's see it put into practice a little bit. You know, practice what you preach. See right there, I got out of the situation. If they jumped there, that would have hit, but because it didn't. Unarmed nair is actually fast enough. A lot of weapons, so here's another thing, is that a lot of weapons, you see that they wake up attack a lot. A lot of weapons are not fast enough to even effectively do that. Unarmed is, though. That could be why it's a little bit difficult to deal with certain things. I'm going to pick Crystal Temple here. We'll get a little bit of the jams. The Crystal Temple jams with the Crystal Temple boy. I guess I'm not from Crystal Temple. I'm like a diamond head. But pretend it's a crystal head. Just for this match. Just for this match. So yeah, I think the fact that it is doing a lot of unarmed makes its wake up attacks a lot more effective. So like right there, that nair, on a weapon like Axe, they would not be able to nair me there. Like, there is no way they could nair me there because it would be way too slow. On a weapon like Spear, there's no way they could nair me there. But unarmed is fast enough. Like, maybe Katars could get a nair out there, depending on how slow or fast I do my input. But, like, there is no way. And so I think that's something that a lot of people are struggling with if they're fighting against these bots and losing. I mean, I don't actually know that because it's not like I've watched anyone else fight the bots, but I'm guessing if you are getting destroyed by them, it's probably because they're doing a lot of wake up attacks, they're interrupting your combos, and a lot of it is that people don't really do that unarmed, so you're not really expecting them to do that. But there is a lot of counterplay. Like, you saw me use that Scythe Sidelight over and over again. I mean, are they going to do it with Gauntlets? No, they're not going to do it with Gauntlet Sidelight. I guess if they have enough airtime, they have enough time to decide whether or not they're going to do it. I did not think they were going to do 2 ground pounds, because who does 2 ground pounds there? I mean, I guess some people would, but what bot would do that? I guess these new bots. I think as I play against them more, it'll become more and more apparent that they are bots and not superior humans. But, you know, as I'm not used to it, maybe I'll get hit more than I probably should. It is what it is. Again, they just came out, but we'll see if I can get a downlight near into recovery here to knock this bad boy out. They also jump a lot, which can be difficult to deal with, but you know, if you know what to expect, then you know what to expect. That was a misinput. It's fine. It is completely fine. I don't know why I said completely there, and my mouth just like turned into a chipmunk and my cheeks bulged as I said that word. But also, GC wake-ups is something that can interrupt combos. I let myself get hit there for some reason, and I don't know why. And they also do diagonal dodges, and diagonal dodges can also be difficult to deal with because of how they move you in a direction really quickly outside of what you might be used to. So like right there, you notice I chase dodged, and because of that I was able to avoid their attacks. And so like that's the other thing that you can do, is if someone's wake up attacking a lot, you can chase dodge through them, through their wake up attack, and you know what they're gonna do. I wonder, how are they gonna edge guard me? I don't even know what just happened. I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea what just happened. I wonder if they know a lot of combos and stuff like that. They seem to know a lot of like neutral situations or like killing situations. They can recognize, okay, here I'm gonna grind. Okay, well that was a bit unfortunate, but here's the replay of that last game anyway. I was just saying, I wonder if there's any calculation for if they know when to ground pound, because it seems like they know when you're off stage, versus like doing strings, if they can read your dodges and stuff like that. That's something that it'll take a little time in the lab, I suppose, to discover, but you know me, I'm probably not going to be the one to do that. I'm kind of just gaming out, but yeah, I think these bots are really cool. I guess as closing thoughts, is a bit of a shorter video. Just wanted to play against them, explore it a little bit. I think, again, it'll be useful to learn a little bit about fighting wake-up attacks. I think it's a great example of why unarmed is very strong, and unarmed probably needs some nerfs. I know that people have been finding issue with that idea in the past because they're like, no, unarmed isn't a weapon, but it can't be that good. But I think if you've been struggling against these bots, then you can see some reasons why unarmed is pretty strong. They are still bots though. You notice they're just mashing jumps, so I just spear dared over and over again. I'm pretty sure this game is about to end, at least in a few seconds, so I'll just close it off with saying, I don't even know. Terminator 2. Watch it in Blu-ray, DVD, if you don't want this to happen. So, yeah. There you go, James Cameron. There's your plug for the day. Enjoy this dare into weapon toss, and I hope you have a good one.